Hello, this is a video for mission 7. Since I will not be able to attend to the duration for this mission, I am going to share part of the code for what we did. I'm going to be explaining the code for the server. So first of all, we have all the arrays that are necessary to store relevant information, such as the path where the file will be saved, and also all the relevant information as to file modifications, renaming, etc. And then we have this method right here, which processes the messages that are received. Um, Basically, what we have is first we have all this manipulation for concatenating the file name that is to be modified or added or deleted, so that we can easily access the directory to do the changes. And then we have, of course, the file handler, which will take care of all the changes. And then we have this array right here, which holds the buffer that will have all the information for whatever the modification was about. And then we have this system, which basically specifies the codes for the action that was performed on the file, so that we know how to proceed once the server receives these messages. So first of all, we have the file added. So basically what we do is we do the manipulation of the char array just to make sure that we have the correct file name to access. And then we have the create file right here, which basically will mimic what the client did, and we'll create a new file in my computer as the server. So then we have, of course, the handling for all the errors, or a file successfully created message that will display in case everything performed accordingly. Then we have the file deletion code, which it is pretty similar to the file added. However, what we do right here is we delete the file, and then we have, of course, the handling for successful deleting or the error handling. And then we have the file modified. It is important to know that first we receive all the information about the file name, and then in another piece of code below, I'm going to show you how the modification happens. But first, let's just leave it at this. This is the part for getting the name and modifying and doing all the string manipulation that we need to access the file. Then we have the renaming of the file, and then this code. We received two messages. So we have code 4 and code 5, which are for receiving the old file name and the new file name, so we can do the modifications accordingly. And then we do any file modifications right here, which when we receive a file modification, we get a code, and then we get the modification. So it's actually two messages. And then the second message is what is going to be processed here. And then we have we need to create the file handle, and then we, of course, have error handles right here. But the important part is where the changes are written, which is in the write file method. And then, of course, we have the main function, which is where all the connection happens. So basically, we create the sockets, we initialize each of them, and then we add all this relevant information for the server to start listening. We actually create the socket right here for connecting to a server. Then we set up the connection. And then we finally start listening and accepting the client sockets. Once we are done, we no longer need the server socket, so we can just close it. And then we keep receiving messages until the connection is shut down. Finally, we do all the cleanup that is necessary. So now that we've gone through the server code, I want to go through a small demo. So in order to show that, I have right here, I am showing my peer screen So here we have the screen for my partner. This is the client screen. We're connecting through Google Hangouts. And this is a video call with a screen share. So these are basically our test protocol. For testing, we created this these use cases, this use case diagram. Basically, what we have is we can either add a file, modify it, or delete it. And then for modification of the file, we can either rename it or we can change the contents of the file. So these are the cases that we're going to be testing. So first of all, let's try to add a file. I'm going to be showing here. This is a folder where all the changes are going to be reflected in my computer, and this is a file where all the changes in the client will be reflected. So we can go ahead and create a new file in the client. So as you can see, both the client has sent this message that the file was added right here, and I should also be able to see something similar right here. So we have a file creation feedback. So we already have a new file. So how about we try renaming the file? So as you can see in the client screen right here, we are going to change the name of the file and try to name it test1.txt. And then if I go to my file, I have it right here. And if I open it, as you can see, it's going to be blank because we haven't done any modifications to the file yet. So now let's try to change the contents in the file. Let's try to add, this is a text string. So let me show you right here how this is happening in the client. We just added this file and we are saving all the changes. So in the server, we should be able to see all these modifications. We received 22 bytes of information with this is a text string. And then if I go to the file in my own folder, the server folder, I can open it and I will have all the changes reflected. Now, for the sake of testing, let's try deleting a small part of the string. So as you can see in the client right here, we are going to be deleting the part string, and then once I save it, you are going to be able to see that we can also reflect changes for deletion in the context of the file. So we have a new message with all the bytes received, and this is the new text that is going to be in the file. So if I go to my folder again, I can open it, and I will see that the word string is no longer in the file. So finally, we want to test the file deleting part. So we are just going to take that test1 file in the client, and we're going to delete it. As you can see in my screen, it will also be deleted in real time. So there you have it. We have no files in either folder, and if I go to my server, I have a file successfully deleted message. So these are the test cases that we created. And during the revision, please let us know if you have any questions about this mission.